let's continue together with files. So I want some volunteers with me. We will explain the files again, and then we will advance inshallah. Yeah.
دكتور هو في السلايد مكتوب اف ستريم بعدين الاوبجكت نفسها هي المفروض تبقى في اي قبل الاف.
قبل الاف موجودة.
مش اللي على الشمال اللي بالبيربل.
نو مفيش اي. I'll explain this يا عبد الرحمن. حاضر يعني.
اوكي تمام.
So we'll have some volunteers with me. So Munir, not so many volunteers today. Yeah.
Yes, doctor.
فأنا كده مضطر المنير يعني. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so Munir, if you look at this function, if you look at this statement, what is the library for fstream? Yeah. What does it do?
اللايبرري اللي اسمها fstream دي زي make the code deal with files within the hardware مثلا or within the desktop.
طيب. You're fundamentally right, but what you're saying is somehow wrong, yeah, Munir. fstream allows you to use functionalities related to handling files, like opening a file, closing a file, reading from a file, and writing to the same file or to another file. Type. What is a file primarily? The file primarily is basically any file that exists on your desktop, which is basically any file, like a Word file, like a text file, any file that you have opened, you have prepared for reading from it or writing to it. Okay, so basically the fstream is a library. fstream is a library. And then let's see this part, ya Munir. What's fstream? So don't mix like what I think Ali was commenting or someone else. What's fstream here and what's ifstream here? Yeah. So fstream, we said it's a library. And what's fstream?
fstream the input file stream, which enables reading from the file.
Which is?
طيب ثانية.
It's a class or an object?
A class.
A class. So basically, anything that is on the left is a class. And what's in underscore stream?
Input stream.
Yeah.
It's an
what
object.
Is it? It's an object. So in stream is the name of the object that can be anything. And fstream is fstream is a class. fstream is a class. fstream is a class. So ifstream is a class responsible to read from a file. Responsible to read from a file. Responsible to read from a file. Offstream is a class responsible to output to another file. So fstream is a class that let you read from a file through an object, and offstream is a class that lets you output from a file through an object of this class. Once again, a class is a description. The object is very similar to a variable. So as if the object is a variable that belongs to a certain data type. Yes, Abdurrahman, it's if
هي
stream.
مكتوب اف ستريم على الشمال بالبيربل
No, no,
اللي
no.
هو declare an input file stream variable using
Where is it?
بالكلام تالت bullet point.
Yes, yes, yes. أنا آسف. Yes, that's if. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Yes, yes. I was
خلاص.
referring to this if stream. That's why I'm mixed. Yeah. Okay.
اوكي مفيش
So, if stream allows you to read from a file, and offstream allows you to output to another file, Okay. So, Abdurrahman, what is this? in_stream.open infile.dat. What is this?
in_stream is the object and then .open اللي بيجي
Yes.
بعديها اسم الفايل اللي احنا هنفتحه.
ممتاز. Excellent. So, basically, in file, this is the name of the file that we want to read from it. And this file does exist. On the hard disk. And this file, what is the content of this file, Abdurrahman? This is the file.
جواه 1 2 3 4.
1 2 3 4. Okay, that's good. So I opened a file in file.dat using an object that belongs to fstream, that belongs to a library called fstream. Out_stream, this is opening a file for writing to. And then I will read 3 integers. So, Abdurrahman, in stream greater than. What does it do?
It writes in the file.
No, it doesn't
reads
write
from the file.
It reads from a file 3 integers. So it
Yes.
basically,
Yes.
it is basically reading first, second, and third from a file.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then outstream. Well, Omar is saying, doctor, we took in the lab that in stream reads string, not integer. You can read from a file. You can read integer, you can read string, you can read whatever, yeah. So you can read anything you want. Okay. Then outstream, this is the name of an object that will do what to another file, ya Abdurrahman?
It will write to another file.
It will write to another file. It will write whatever between quotes, and then it will write the summation of the first, second, and third. So basically this code reads from a file, writes to another file. And then basically after handling the files, we have to close. We have to close. We have to close the files. Okay. Type. In the previous time, we took a function that is called fail. So can anyone tell me the function that is called fail exists in the class called fstream and outstream, and it also belongs to a library called fstream. So can you tell me what is the purpose of the fail function?
If the file fails to open, it will execute the condition of it if statement.
Great, you take 2 bonuses. And Omar, you took a bonus as well. So it basically checks, it basically checks if I can read from a file or I can write to a file. Why I cannot read from a file? I cannot read from a file if the file is corrupted on the hard disk. يعني الفايل بايظ على الهارد disk. I cannot write to a file basically لو انا ما عنديش space على الهارد ديسك اكتب عليه. So if I am opening a file, if I fail to open it, then خلاص I exit the code. If I fail to write to it, then I will exit the code. Okay, the application, sorry. Okay, so this is basically fail. Then we took in the previous time that I can open a file and then I can append to it. What does it mean appending to a file? Means the file can contain certain data. The file can contain certain data, and I will append means extend the content of this file. I will append means extend the content of this file. So today we will take additional information about files, additional information about the files. So I need a volunteer with me. So Kenzie, can you be with me?
Yes, you got.
Okay, you're not disconnected yet, Kenzie. Okay, so here, what is this, ya Kenzie? What is this? And what is that?
It's reading a file that's an array. Sorry.
No, just read.
Sorry, in underscore file underscore name.
Yeah, what is this? This is the name of the variable, which is what, ya Kenzie?
An underscore file underscore name.
Yeah, I know. But is it an integer? Is it a character? Is it what?
Character.
No, not really. It's not a character. It's what?
An object.
No, not an object, because the type is character. So it's an array of characters. It's an array of characters.
Okay.
So this is an array of characters. Okay?
Okay.
Similar like what you make before int. So this is an array of what, ya Kenzie?
Number, integers.
Integers, yes. Okay. So basically in this code, I declare in stream of type fstream. This is an object that is related to the type fstream, and this is an object that is related to a class of stream, and then I am doing some couts, and then I want to get from the user the name of the file that I will read from. The name of the file that I will read from. Then I will get from the user the name of the file that I will write to. The name of the file that I will write to. Okay? Then, 1 second, please. So I will get an input from the user, which is an n underscore file name. I will get an input from the user that I will get an input from the user, the name of the file I will write to. If you see this example and compare it with the previous example, here I put the name of the file between quotation. So I put the name of the file between quotation. I put the name of the files between quotation, which means that I will read data.txt. This is in this example.
Doctor,
Yes.
what is iOS app?
Okay. iOS column app. This means I want to open a file and append to the same file. I want to open a file and append to the same file. Okay. So if I write iOS double column app, this means that I will open the file called data.txt and I will write on the same file. I will write on the same file. And if out, this is the name of the object that belongs to an output file stream. And it belongs to a library called fstream. So if out belongs to a class called offstream. Why? Because I am reading to a file and I am writing to the same file. In the previous example, I read from the file called infile.dat and I wrote to a file called outfile.dat. Okay?
طب دكتور I have a question.
Yes.
هو مش احنا كده هنحتاج من اليوزر برضه يدخل اللوكيشن؟
Yes, exactly. And this is basically what we are doing here. We
تمام.
are getting from the user the name of the file to read from and the name of the file to write to. This is cn in file name, cn out file name. I am getting from the user the name of the file to read from, the name of the file to write to, instead of making them as constant.
بس كده النيم بس هو هيدخل بقى الاكستنشن كله مش النيم بس، صح كده؟
كده هيدخل النيم بالاكستنشن. يس.
شكرا.
Omar, the answer is yes. Okay. Then this function, then this function, what does it do basically?
It
It-
reads the
It
file.
opens the file.
It opens the file, and this is a variable that is a character array that the user has input, So this is basically allow you as the user, instead of having a constant file name, to write the name of the file name to read from. And then we open the file for reading, and then dot open out file name. This is a character array that the user has input as well. So I am inputting what is the name of the file to read from, and I am inputting the name of the file to read from, to write to as well. Okay? So this is basically this code. So Omar, the user can enter less than 16 characters, and the rest of the characters will be null, will be nothing. Yeah. Okay. Then can anyone remember what does this do?
It prints out a certain amount of decimal numbers.
Great, yeah, Kenzie. You get a bonus. It prints out certain amount of decimal digits after the decimal point. It prints them to a screen. What if I want to format the output to a file? يعني cout.setf blah 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 cout.setf show points cout.precision to. This means what? This means ان انا هطلع على الشاشة الفلوت number and 2 digits after the decimal point. However, if I want to do the same with files, then I simply do the same instructions. However, instead of using cout, I use the out underscore stream. And what is the out underscore stream? The out underscore stream, this is an object. And this object is related to the library called fstream, and ofstream, output file stream, and it's related to a library called fstream. So what does this mean? It means that please write to me in a file, not in the screen, in a file, any float number or any double number with 2 decimal points after the point or the point. We'll have an example after a while. Then I have something called manipulator, and this manipulator exists in a function called in a library called IO manip, means input output manipulation, input output manipulation. I have something called setw. W. And what does set W do? Set W actually is an abbreviation for a function that is called set width. That is called set width. That is called set width. Okay? So this set width, what does it do?
دكتور أنا مش فاهمة الحتة دي.
لسه ما شرحتش لسه.
I mean, can you يعني start from the beginning عشان يعني I pick
Yes.
up what you're explaining so that you don't have to explain all of it again.
Yeah, I will explain all of it again. Okay. So, what does a function that is called set width do? If I make set width 4, this means that I want to make 4 locations for displaying the number that comes after set width. What does it mean? It means that those are 4 places. This is set width 4. Those are 4 places. Those are 4 places. And I put a number which is 10. Then this is 1 and this is 0. So it means that I have 4 locations for displaying the number which is 10. So the first 2 places will be spaces and the second will be 10 and the second will be 10. طيب اشرح بالعربي عشان ما تتلخبطوش. set W دي بتعمل ايه؟ set W دي بتقول انا هحجز على الشاشة او على الفايل عدد من الاماكن هيحصل displaying للنمبر ده فيهم. طيب لو انا حجزت 4 اماكن والنمبر هو 1 0 يبقى اخر مكانين هيبقى في رقم 1 و0 والمكانين الاولانيين هيبقى سبيسز. اديلكوا اكزامبل تاني. set W for 20. ايه اللي هيحصل؟ اللي هيحصل ان انا عندي 4 places وهحط 20 في اخر 2 locations وبعد كده هنا هيبقى سبيس وهنا هيبقى سبيس. طيب لو انا set W6 30 ايه اللي هيحصل؟ اللي هيحصل انه هيبقى عندي 6 locations 1 2 3 4 5 6 واحط فيهم 30. يبقى ال 30 دي هتيجي في اخر 2 locations واول 4 locations هيبقوا spaces. طيب set W works with the screen and works as well when writing to a file. Okay? طيب what if I made the following? cout start set W 5 1000. طيب I have how many location? 5 locations. And this digit after and this number after the set W has 1, 2, 3, 4. Then one space 1, 2, 3, 4. What if this is set W 6? So it will be space space 1, 0, 0, 0. What if this is set W7? It will be 1 space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay? So, in
دكتور انا
principle,
مش فاهم، طب ليه 7 3
نعم.
سبيسز بس؟ ليه 7 بتبقى يعني هي set width 7، يعني هي مثلا بتعمل سبيسز، يعني مثلا هي فور اكزامبل الرقم عندي 4 ارقام مثلا، يبقى في 4 محجوزين، الباقي بيبقى سبيس قبله، صح كده؟
الباقي بيبقى سبيس. يبقى زي ما انت بتقول، اشرحها بالعربي تاني. set W يعني لو انا عملت set W10 يبقى انا عندي 10 سبيسز. however الرقم اللي انا عايز اعمل له displaying 4، يبقى هيبقى عندي 6 سبيسز وبعد كده الرقم. تمام؟ يبقى دول in total 10 locations on the screen. اول 6 location spaces، الباقي هو رقم اللي انا عايز اعمل له printing. What if this is 2؟ لو ده 2 يبقى انا عندي 8 spaces وعندي رقمين اللي هما 1 و 0. اوكي؟ Is it understood يا جماعه؟
يس دكتور.
طب دي ممكن مثلا بنيوزت في ايه بالظبط؟
طيب انت بتيوزت في ايه؟ ده سؤال كويس. انت بتيوزت عشان تطلع شكل حلو على الشاشه، او تطلع اوتبوت على الفايل شكله كويس. يعني انت يا اما بتطلع على الشاشه حاجه شكلها حلو منسقه تحت بعض، يا اما انت بتطلع على الفايل حاجه منسقه زي حاجه منسقه. لو انت عايز تطلع على الشاشه هتعمل سي اوت، هتعمل سي اوت. خلاص. لو انت عايز تطلع على الفايل يبقى بتستعمل الاوبجكت اللي اسمه اوت ستريم. الاوبجكت ده of type of class fstream سوري ofstream، اللي هو من كلاس اسمه fstream. طيب outstream set w 10 وبعد كده مثلا let's say 1000. هيحصل ايه؟ it will write to a file 1 2 3 4 5 6 spaces and then the number which is 1000. اوكي، بنستعملها في ايه؟ بنستعملها عشان نطلع شكل حلو على الشاشة، وده اللي هنشوفه بعد كده. اوكي؟ طيب let me have محمد عمر، انا مش فاهمك يعني. انا مش فاهمك. يمكن عمر عنده مشكلة في المايك. anyways محمد can you be with me؟
محمد انا؟
انت.
اوكي.
مش مصدق نفسه.
طيب this is a function يا محمد. What are the inputs to this function? The input parameters to this function.
عندنا اف ستريم، يعني عندنا هيبقى فايل من النوع اف ستريم اللي هي كلاس، واوف ستريم لما input و output.
Okay. Is it called by reference or called by value يا محمد؟
Call by reference عشان so that we can change the value and we have the and so
Always,
it's called by
always, when I pass something to a function, I make it call by reference. I make it call by reference, not call by value. I make it call by reference, not call by value. So those are two inputs to the file, two inputs to the function. What is the first input يا محمد? Messy file. It is of file of type what?
of type fstream, which is the class.
Fstream, which is reading from a file.
Yeah.
And of stream, it means
output to another file.
So we have an object called neat file related to the class called offstream. We have messy file related to a class called fstream, and we are making calling by reference.
Call by reference.
Call by reference. Okay, let's have it step by step. So what do we do here, ya Muhammad?
Here we declared two variables of type fstream and offstream. One of them is fn and the other is fout.
Two variables, two objects. Two
objects, yeah.
Yes.
fn and fout.
Then fn.open, what does it do?
This opens the files that want
what
to
is the
target
name of the file that will be opened?
raw data and .dat. Dat is its type.
Okay, so fn, this is the name of the object. Open, this is a function that belongs to the class fstream, and I am opening a file called rawdata.dat. Rawdata.dat. Okay, then fn.fail, fout.fail. What does it do?
It checks if the file opens or not, and if it doesn't open, it will print on the screen input file opening field.
Thank you. So fail, it will check if I am able to open a file for reading. If out.fail means it will check that I will be opening the file for writing. Then make neat. This is the name of the what, ya Muhammad? Make neat. This is the name of.
This is the name of the neat.
Make neat.
This is the name. This is the name of the function.
Yeah. So this is
another function.
This is a function that is called make neat.
Make neat. That we declared at the beginning.
Okay. Fn. This is what? This is the messy file.
This is the messy file, and fout is the neat file.
This is the neat file. And
neat file. And 5 is the number after decimal point, and 12 is the decimal X, is the field X.
Okay. Let's read step by step. Neat file dot set f fixed show points, show position, and neat file dot precision. This is the same, again, I am repeating. This is the same as what we took before, the same as cout. However, instead of formatting the float number or the double number on the screen, it will format it on a file. So neat file, this is the object that belong to the class that is called offstream, and offstream, this is for writing to it. So I am formatting the output. Okay?
Yeah.
Then cout, this is formatting on the screen.
Formatting on my own screen.
Yes. And then
We declare a variable called next of type double.
we declare a variable called next. And if you read while messy file greater than next, what do you think it do?
This is satisfied only when it reads something from next.
Great, ya Muhammad. You have another bonus. So this is a file. I will explain this because it's not very straightforward. This is a file, and this file contains double data. This is the messy file. This is the messy file. This is a while loop. And this is basically says, as far I can read something from a file, then enter the loop. So as far as I am reading something from a file، يعني بالعربي كده لو الفايل فيه داتا اقراها، فهتفضل الوايل لوب شغاله بتقرا من الفايل، بتقرا دبل نمبر، هتقرا الاولاني الثاني الثالث الرابع الخامس السادس، then خلاص. طيب then it will read the first number, then it will do formatting of this number using set W, okay, and it will write whatever it has read from one file, it will write it to another file. يعني يا جماعة الميسي فايل ده فايل متلخبط اللي هو هوريه لكم دلوقتي. معلش sorry, I'm using a little bit of Arabic زيادة النهاردة بس in order for you to understand. This is the messy file. شايفينه عامل ازاي؟ أنا عايز آخد من الميسي فايل وأحطه في النيت فايل. فأنا I opened the file called raw data اللي هو الفايل اللي متلخبط دوّة، and then I read from it, and then I formatted using set W والكلام ده كله, and then I put it into two places, to the screen and to the neat file. يعني أنا بقرا من فايل اسمه raw data بحط في فايل تاني بشكل منسق اسمه neat file وبحط وببرنت something on the screen. So while messy file greater than next, then this means I am able to read from a file. Then I will print to a display. This is cout print next. This is cout print next. وبستعمل set W عشان adjust the spaces. And then I am writing where I am writing to a neat file. I am reading from a messy file and I am writing on a neat file. How do I write to a neat file? I write to a neat file via set F عشان الحاجات تيجي تحت بعضها. Okay, I want to tell you something very small here. There's something called setf show POS. What does it mean? iOS dot show POS. This means please write to me plus or minus, plus or minus. So if the number is a minus number, if the number is a minus number or a negative number, show POS, it will write it with plus or minus, with plus or minus. Okay, so this is basically this program. One last thing I want to say in this lecture, that I can check whether I have reached the end of file via two things: via reading from a file like Messi next, and then Messi next, Messi dot next, Messi next. So I am being able to read. خلاص, this is one example. Another example is a function that exists, in ifstream or ofstream. It is called EOF. It is called EOF. What does EOF stand for? It stands for end of file. What does it mean? If this is a file, so this file is 1, 2, 3, 4, then خلاص, this is the end of the file. So there will be a marker that you don't see in a file called end of file. يعني الاند اوف فايل ده ماركر. الماركر ده بيقول لك انه الفايل خلاص خلص على كده. فانت بتقول له ايه؟ while not in stream. In stream, this is an object of class fstream that belong to a library called fstream. So n underscore stream dot end of file. يعني انا لسه ما وصلتش الاند اوف فايل. انا لسه ما وصلتش الاند اوف فايل. انا لسه ما وصلتش الاند اوف فايل. I didn't reach the end of file. So if I read 1, I didn't reach the end of file, so I continue with the while loop. 2, I continue with the while loop. 3, I continue with the while loop. 4, I continue with the while loop, and then I will try to read again. Is it the end of file? Yes. Then I exit the while loop. What do I read? First, I see out next, and then in stream.get next. There's a function here that is called get, and this function allows you to get a character. It is as if you are seeing a character. So you are getting a character. So if this is a file, Kamal, that's all for this file. While in stream.end of file, I will read the K and display it on the screen. I will read the A and display it on the screen. I will read the M and display it on the screen. I will read the A and display it on the screen. I will read L and display it on the screen. And then that's it. It's end of file, so I exit the file loop. Once again, end of file means what? Means I reach the end of file. يعني لو الفايل فيه 15,000 كاركتر، انا وصلت للكاركتر نمرة 15,000، ما اقدرش اقرا anymore. Okay. So once again, for people that didn't understand the get, this is inStream.get next. Next is a character, and this is very similar to reading from file a character, one character. So it's very similar to inStream next. Very similar. inStream is an object that allows me to read from a file. Next is a character. This is very similar to inStream.get next. Very similar. Okay. And get function, you have to include no, you don't have to include anything. Okay. So next, get means I will be reading from a file one character. So that's it from my side. Thank you for joining. If you need anything, just please stay on the lecture. If not, thank you very much for joining, and see you tomorrow, inshallah, for reviewing the project, and see you Saturday as well to continue, and hope you a good evening, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adu.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
دكتور هو ميد ترم 2 هيبقى امتى؟
هيبقى أول 12 إن شاء الله يعني.
اوكي ثانك يو دكتور.
دكتور الحتة دي يعني رخمة شوية، هي السي اوت نيكست دي بتعمل ايه؟
ثانية واحدة. سي اوت نيكست دي بتطلع على الشاشة نيكست، بتطلع كاركتر على الشاشة.
تمام.
سي اوت طبيعية جدا يعني.
هي
فهمت.
نكست اللي عاملين لها ديكلير.
نعم، يعني المفروض انه عملت لها ديكلير قبل كده يعني.
يعني هو بيقرا كاركتر باي كاركتر،
بيقرا كاركتر من الفايل ويعمل له ديسبلاينج، بيقرا كاركتر من الفايل ويعمل له ديسبلاينج. inStream.get يعني بتقرا من الفايل 1 كاركتر. سي اوت نيكست يعني بتطلعه على الشاشة يعني.
هي جت بتعمل اون كاركتر بس؟
بتعمل 1 كاركتر بس.
طب مفيش حاجة بتعمل مثلا string او كده؟
في حاجة هبعتها لكم as well يعني.
هو دكتور الاسامي الفانكشنز دي المفروض يعني اعرفها ازاي انا يعني؟
لا يعني بالتجربة يعني، مش يعني بالتعود يعني، مفيش حاجة في الآخر بتحفظها يعني هم ما مش حاجات كتيرة قوي يعني
تمام.
end of file next get whatever set w، ده كلها حاجات بالتعود يعني.
تمام. طب دكتور هو بالنسبة للأسايمنت أنا حضرتك شفت إن في 2 assignments نزلوا. الأسايمنت التاني ده اللي هو فيه ريكلوجن وحاجات احنا لسه ما خدناهاش، فده هنلحق نخلصه قبل الديدلاين؟
أيوه يوم السبت هتبقى خدته يعني.
طيب تمام.
يوم السبت إن شاء الله. أوكي.
بس اللي هو الأسايمنت الأولاني احنا خلصنا كل التوبكس بتاعته صح؟
خلصت كل التوبكس بتاعته.
تمام. اوكي شكرا يا دكتور.
Thank you, Doctor.
welcome.